So, you know what's crazy? Um, Perception of the mind, and what I mean by that is what we think inside the mind versus reality. Like, like sometimes, and well, not sometimes, but in my mind, right? Like, I always have to be right. I can't be wrong. I always have to win. Like, there's just certain things that in my mind I feel I'm entitled to. The reality is, it's not always going to be that way. Like, reality versus the mind. The reality is, I'm not always going to win. I can't always be right. You know, I can try, but it's not always going to happen. But in my mind, I'm always right. I'm always winning. I'm not wrong. You know, and when people can't separate the mind from actual reality, that's when the problems occur. And not only, actual physical reality, but your relationships and interactions with other people. Because because the people that you're involved with, they understand what you're saying, but once again, the reality of it is that's just not what it is. And when we can't separate the two, that's where all the fights and the arguments and the disagreements come into play. Like, and a lot of people can't do that. Example, I was talking with somebody yesterday, and they were like, "No, in my mind, I'm entitled to these things." So I told them, "You see, that's the problem in your mind. When the reality is, you're really not entitled or privileged to the things that you want, or whatever the case, however the conversation went. That's a completely conversation, you know." And so, and at the end of the conversation, this is when I knew that the conversation wasn't gonna go anywhere, that they weren't gonna see my point, because the person has stated that, in my mind, that's just what it is. So once they said that, like, I knew that the conversation was dead. Like, they're not gonna actually understand what I'm saying. Like, yes, I understand what you're saying, you know, but the reality of it is, outside of your mind, those things are just not true. So that's when I just realized that the conversation was dead, one track mind. I wasn't gonna, hit myself in the brick wall trying to make my point to them. I just let it go. And so here I am, asking y'all to, let me know, like, am I right? Like, am I right? Like, am I right as far as, like we have to be able to tell the difference between our mind and actual facts of reality, cons- dealing with other people, because once again, my mind, what my mind tells me is different from what your mind tells you, as well as what reality tells us. So let me know. You know, like I might be right, I might be wrong, but let me know. I don't think I was wrong. Not only in my mind, but in actual reality. You know, I don't think I was wrong. So, all right.